Good morning, my name is Jim, and today we're going to have a story from the Bible, another exciting story about Jesus with his friends when he was wandering and teaching in the land of Israel. So, let's get started. There were once 5,000 tired and hungry, probably very grumpy people, sitting on a hillside waiting for their dinner. They'd come to hear Jesus that day. They came before breakfast, stayed all morning, all afternoon, and way past dinner time. No one had meant to be out there that long, but that's how it was listening to Jesus, as if time didn't exist. People could listen to Jesus for hours, and on this particular day, that's what they just did. But they hadn't brought enough food, and they couldn't go and buy themselves a burger and fries because, of course, they're in the middle of nowhere with no shops and no restaurants. Besides, that kind of food hadn't been invented yet. What would they do? Jesus' friends had an idea. Let's send everyone home. Well, Jesus didn't think that was a very good idea, and he said, "You can give them something to eat." Did Jesus want them to travel all the way to town and buy food for everyone? Jesus' friends panicked. "But we don't have enough money." "What food do you have?" Jesus asked. "Go and see." Now there was a little boy in the crowd. And he had brought a lunch that his mother had made for him that morning. He looked at his 5 loaves and 2 fish. It wasn't much, not nearly enough for 5,000 people, but it was all he had. "I have some," he said. Jesus' friends laughed when they saw his little lunch. But they were wrong. Jesus knew it didn't matter how much the little boy had. God would make it enough, more than enough. Jesus said, "Bring me what you have," and so the little boy gave Jesus his lunch. Jesus winked at the little boy and whispered in his ear, "Watch." How in the world will Jesus feed everyone with just that? Jesus' friends said, because they thought it was impossible. But Jesus knew the one who had made all the fish in the oceans. And Jesus knew the one who in the very beginning had made everything from nothing. How hard would it be for someone like this? Jesus took the little boy's lunch, looked up to heaven, and thanked his Father. Then Jesus gave the little lunch back to his friends, and Jesus' friends started to hand out the food. Do you know what? It was the strangest thing. No matter how much they broke off, there was always some more. Enough for 5,000 people. And more. Everyone ate as much as they wanted. 2nd helpings, 3rd helpings, even 4ths, until they were full. And still there were leftovers. Well, Jesus did many miracles like this. People thought that these things couldn't happen, that things that weren't natural. But it was the most natural thing in the world. It's what God had been doing from the beginning, of course. Taking nothing and making it everything, taking the emptiness and filling it up, turning the darkness and making it light. And that's the end of our story. So this week, in whatever situation we find ourselves, let us put our trust in Jesus and in God, because Jesus was God in human form, to change anything and everything according to our needs. And that's today's story. Filled up. Full.